Potluck Worship is a new endeavor for Livingstone Church. It's an idea that we came up with not too long ago as an attempt to approach worship as producers of worship and not just consumers of worship. We've all had that experience where we've been to a worship experience that's an hour and we sit quietly and someone speaks from up front and we don't actually participate in it. And Potluck Worship is our attempt to kind of remedy that situation by bringing people around a meal, but also around a shared experience of worship. So, like I said, the Potluck Worship has two main components. First is a shared meal, which is a potluck. We encourage people to bring a dish to pass. And then we move from that into a shared time of worship, which is also potluck. We encourage people to bring gifts of worship to contribute. The meal is a great time for us to solidify relationships, to spend time in friendships and conversation, to make connections in ways that we wouldn't otherwise. The gifts of worship that people bring to potluck vary in many ways, from stories and insights, maybe from their personal devotions or their small group times, to creative expressions of faith, be it through the visual arts or possibly through poetry or story. Really, the limitations are just on people's imagination and what they feel they can bring. We find that having a small group is a good way for people to feel vulnerable. It gives them a chance to open up in ways that would be harder with a larger group. And so as Potluck continues to grow, we look to kind of keep the small group atmosphere either through several groups or different ways to do that, so everybody can be encouraged to participate. We also do a fair amount of singing in Potluck Worship. Some of these songs were ones that we'd kind of planned on ahead of time that seemed to fit with the theme, and many others come up spontaneously. People feel free to kind of suggest or shout out a song as they feel led, and those songs then are brought in. We have a database of songs on our laptop where we have the words right there, and we're able to bring those into worship also. Music is another opportunity for people to participate with other instruments. Finally, Potluck Worship is a place where we gather around a teaching from Scripture. This time often generally on a theme that has come up in our neighborhood groups, which are 2 weeks prior to this, and a chance for us to kind of interact with that theme in a way that's more participatory even than our structured worship, which is actually pretty interactive also. But this teaching generally tries to be fleshed out so that we can see an example, that we can physically, viscerally experience what is happening there, and it gives us a chance to interact with Scripture in another way. All in all, Potluck Worship has gone very well, and we appreciate the gifts that people bring, and we invite you to come on the third Sunday of every month at Kellogg Middle School at 5:30 to enjoy Potluck Worship with us.